share. And I'm going to talk to you today about fitness influencers, which I think is a bit much now. Like, there's lots of new fitness influencers on YouTube talking loads of crap, or talking very old hat stuff, like talking about circadian rhythms, which Paul was talking about back in 2000, talking about using glassware for putting your food in as well as drinking out of glass for your water. Paul Check was talking about that back in the day. So really not real new stuff out there from these new fitness influencers, like the Liver King talking about his stages of health or something he was talking about, which is all taken out of Physical Degeneration, Weston A. Price's book, so that's not new stuff. Charles Parloquin was talking about how a lot of the fitness and strength information is all regurgitated from the 1950s, just with a new spin on it. So here's one of Charles's books that I bought this year, which is Parloquin's Papers, which is really, really good. Some great information in there, but unfortunately they haven't published volume 2 yet. But I really enjoyed that book, really good. Highly recommend it. Coach Living Legend sent me Strongman Old Man Training, another really good book as well, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Thanks Living Legend. It was great chatting to you last Sunday. Book I've just sent the Living Legend, which is all about females weightlifting. 11 quid, you know, good information in there about women's menstrual cycles. I know that women's menstrual cycles can make them more hypermobile, but they're saying that women's menstrual cycles can make them stronger or weaker if you don't get the cycle time right when they're doing their strength and conditioning program. So that was interesting. This new book, I'm not really 100% into this book so far. The Science of Getting Ripped, Proven Diet Hacks, Workout Tricks, Burn Fat, Build Muscle in Half the Time. It's talking a lot about cardiovascular training in the book, but cardiovascular training has been debunked by Charles Parloquin, saying that the cardiovascular training is not really good for burning body fat. So I'm just trying to find out when this book was published quickly for you. Where is it? It's not saying, unfortunately. That's not good, is it? We're looking at the back. No date there. Let's go a bit further back. So the only thing with this book is that there's hardly any imagery in the book as well. So I'm quite a visual learner. So if a book has got lots of images in it, I will take a lot more information in on reading them certain sections. So that's where this book lets itself down. The guy, Raza Imman, has written lots and lots of books on other subjects as well. So I'm not sold by his book so far, but I've not thoroughly read it, so I may be a bit biased at the moment. But I'll do an updated video on what I think of the book. So here we've got a picture of Arnie, which I found in my cupboard. It was in a frame, but the frame's broken, so I need to get it reframed. As you can see, it's signed by Arnold. And I think I got this from a memorabilia shop in Basildon. This influencers like the Liver King, Plates, No Dates, Elliot Hulse, who else is there? Dorian, Yates, and Joe Rogan and people like that. One thing they've all got in common is that they've all cheated on their hormonal system, and they're all taking some sort of substitution for their testosterone levels being fucked from taking the wrong things. Okay, so I've trained all of my life naturally, 18-inch arms, and proud that I can design a great program, see a program design behind me for any client to gain up to 30 pounds of muscle in 12 weeks. If you do everything correctly, this means sleep, hydration, diet, exercise, stretching, meditating, all these things that you need to have to join the jigsaw together in for you to get maximum muscle size, as well as taking BCAAs, which a lot of people poo-poo, creatine, which makes you bald, not, and other supplements. Now, when I was in my 20s, I'll show you a picture. Where is it? Oh, here we go. So when I was in my 20s, this is me posing off in Wag Bennett's gym next to the Arnold shrine, because I was a big Arnie fan. And then you've got me doing a lat pull down there. Okay, so this is all natural muscle. Not really. Here's a picture of me and Wag together. As you can see, I've got a really good six-pack. And Wag really liked that I was in great shape. And he wanted to put me in his magazine. Which, unfortunately, the magazine went bust. Just my luck at the time that I was going to do it. And there you can see there. See I'm balding there as well. So, in my early 20s, just come back from Greece. And here's me doing a most muscular as well. So, bodybuilding and weightlifting or keeping in shape has always been my passion from my early 20s. So I'm not one of these trainers that has just started and thinks they know it all and all this type of stuff. So then you got James Smith, Elliot Hulse, Dorian Yates, Joe Rogan, all on something in which to keep enhancing their size, when all you need is hard, consistent training with great diet, good lifestyle, and you can still gain a good size. So I gained just over half an inch on the arms to get them up to 18, but during the pandemic I dropped down to 11 stone. I'm back up to 15, which I really like, and still strong as an ox. When I went in the gym, I couldn't... I was really worried about my deadlifting. I didn't think I'd be able to do 160, 170 because I hadn't deadlifted that weight for over 2 years. I went back in, done it straight away. So when you understand reps, sets, loads and tempos, that if you do 1 to 6 reps, your weight can be gargantuan. But if you do 15 to 20 or 12 or 8 reps, you can't do the same weight because you're not going into... power and strength. And my body loves power and strength training. It hates endurance training. I can't do 15, 20 reps. It's fucking boring. My body doesn't really adapt or change to it. And this is something that you get over the years, is that you learn about what your body adapts to and what it likes the older you get and the more that you design programs on a regular basis for yourself. Now, when it comes to Charles Poliquin and Paul Chek brought out advanced program design and program design. But it never talked about German volume training. It never talked about the way they train in the Soviet Union and stuff like that. Whereas Charles Poliquin shares all this type of stuff in his books, like Poliquin's Principles and this book here that I really, really love, the German Body Comp book. So Paul's book, How to Eat, Move and Be Healthy, is a great book still with some great information that's not in the Charles Poliquin book. So get a combination of the two if you're a trainer, coach, or you just want to help yourself to understand even more. The other thing about Paul's work is that he doesn't really talk about supplementation and how to enhance your physique using supplementation, whereas Charles Poliquin does. And this is just where they're the difference. And Charles writ over 240 books. Paul Chek only done 4. So there's a big difference in knowledge level, in my opinion. Charles had I think he had a human science performance degree, whereas Paul Chek has no degree. but Paul Check's read £1 million in books and has worked in a physiotherapy clinic type environment, whereas Charles got 400 athletes to the Olympic gold standard. So that's the difference, you know, between Paul and Charles. But I've been reading a lot more Charles's work and going deeper into that way. But I still use the 145 assessments that I learned through the Check program. I still use lab work, blood work and stuff like that on my clients if they're open to that, which not all of them are. So I try and meet the client where they're at and what they want to pay for and what they're ready for. So be careful of fake gurus like James Smith, Elliot Hulse, Joe Rogan and Dorian Yates. So Dorian Yates has been putting some videos out of him training a guy for leg training and all this type of stuff. But it's roid training. It's not natural. The guy's not going to be natural, is he? So that's the only thing with wanting a physique like Arnold, like I did back in the 80s. Unless I become a drug bodybuilder, I would never look like this, ever. And this is what you got to remember, is that if you're reading the Mike Mentzer book that I've got here as well, is that the Mike Mentzer, you know, one set to failure works when you're on drugs, but doesn't work when you're natural, in my opinion. The same as Dorian Yates' book. Yeah, his physique is phenomenal. He looks fantastic. But he's not the same man he used to be off of the drugs. The same as Lou Ferrigno, the same as Arnold Schwarzenegger, the same as Frank Zane, the same as Hulk Hogan, the wrestler. They will never be the same as, what's his name? Conor McGregor, you know. They're saying he's on gear, but he said he gained 30 pounds of muscle. I know that's possible with good diet and exercise, but they like to cane everybody, you know. They won't give anybody the natty title of look at his physique. But saying that, Joe Rogan has a couple of times pointed out different guys that live, walk and talk the lifestyle, so they get the great physique and the great body from that. And this is what's important. Don't be a weekend warrior if you want a great physique. You've got to work, you've got to sleep, you've got to eat, and you've got to train hard, a minimum 4 times a week. If you're going over 4 times a week, you will definitely be overtraining. You will get in pain, either neck pain, back pain, knee pain, and you'll end up paying me £200 an hour to try and help you get out of pain. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and Happy New Year. I hope you're going to work on getting your guns bigger, getting stronger, fitter, faster. If you buy my book, you can get a free program which is behind me, which I'll talk to you for at least an hour, find out exactly what you want from your training program, and I will design it for you, and then I'll call you in a month's time to see how well you're doing on that program. And all you've got to pay is $6.99 for my book, which is on Amazon, and give me a nice book review if you enjoy the book. My book 2 will be coming out mid 2023. I've got a free downloadable ebook on my website that you can read without having to put in any details whatsoever. You just download it and read it. So you can do that as well. And I'm setting up a one-day seminar, which will be me chatting about everything to do with strength training, fitness, diet, lifestyle, showing you how to heal your chakras, showing you how to correct posture and how to look at flexibility, and how some people should never stretch, whereas other people need to stretch twice a day, and how your lower back pain relates to your financial issues, or whereas your upper back pain here can relate to your love issue. So going really deep with that. It's only open to 10 people. It's £250 for the whole day. I've got to pay for the room. I've got to pay for your manual, which is going to be 10 pages, maybe more than that, depends on the cost. And you'll get my book free as well. And you get a assessment and program that I will design for you, which we'll do privately outside of the seminar or the workshop, simply because if I've got 10 people on there, I want to make sure that they get what they want from the seminar. And I'll be showing you stuff you've never seen before, unless you've worked with a Czech level 4 or level 5 master. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Sorry for a bit rambling on. Happy New Year. Set your goals, write down your goals, visualize what you want in your life, and you will make it happen. Please comment down below on what you think about the fake influencers, and whether you think I have a point or whether I'm talking a load of nonsense. Please comment down below. Please subscribe, please share, please like. Peace out.